Peace and blessings, family. Welcome to African Spiritual Conversations. We are back up in the building on this Friday. Hope y'all have a good Friday. How's your Friday doing?
Well,
It's a great day after. Okay.
hmm
It's a great day. I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna be take it to the next level.
Yeah,
exactly. Great day. Great day.
It is a great day.
I woke up late because I hung out late, which was really awesome. So I woke up. I thought it was 5:30, and it was like 8:30. So I was like, oh,
Woo.
I was like, oh, okay.
Okay now.
Hey.
Very grateful for that.
Sounds like you need another trip down here, child.
Hey, hey, why you playing? Why are you playing? It was absolutely awesome. I got a chance to hang out with some awesome sisters last night, and Ifa Modu Play was included in that. It was just good food. Sister made us some greens, cornbread, fried
Ooh.
chicken,
Rice and beans.
Ooh.
Fried
what else was it? Oh, beans and rice.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. And then we had some cheese. What was that?
Well,
Then we had dessert.
oh, we had cheesecake.
Cheesecake, that's how I can remember. Cheesecake. And then we also had some sangria. I had 2 glasses, so I had to get some water to, get myself together because I was getting kind of sleepy. Wine and stuff like that makes me sleepy. Like it makes me kind of docile, so I had to get some water so I could get back there. It was incredible.
I feel like I started talking loud.
Good conversation. So grateful
That's nice. Yes. Yes.
to know that. So I'm feeling good. How you feeling, if I want to play?
I feel good this morning. I got up and did my vocal exercises. And
Oh, there our sister is on the line. Sorry about that.
right, shut up with me. That's you good lesson. Yep.
I'm sorry, you said you got up and did what now?
I said I got up and did my vocal exercises and I got up. Well, you got up at 8:30. That was late for you. That's early for me. So that's what time I got up.
Okay.
No, right on time. So yeah, I got up at
Wow. And what about you? Yeah, yeah. You said there's a storm that came across the island. Yes.
Yeah. It's not a bad storm. It's just heavy rain every now and again, and I went for my walk this morning. It made no difference to me. I went to the ocean, and you know, I'm good. Hey, I'm at the point now. What happens happens, and I just flow with it. Cause ain't no sense in being
Mm-hmm.
upset about it. If the house caves in, hopefully it won't kill me, and if it does, just go along where you go. That's all.
Wow.
Just,
Well,
just, just don't take off my legs and hands and arms and that kind of stuff. I would prefer not to, but
well,
All
today,
righty.
right on. So today we're going to talk about offerings and prayers, and I'm still in the basic place. And you know how when people talk about offerings to certain orishas, a lot of times you don't even know where that comes from. You know what I'm saying? Or what's the origins of it? Or, how do you know this is attributed to this orisha kind of thing? And then just prayers. Like, if you come out of the Christian tradition, I've seen people make prayers out of anything you can think of in terms of application. But when you're doing prayers inside of the tradition of Ifa, um, I guess depending on what is it that you're needing or trying to focus on, that prayer could change. You know what I mean? And we will talk about that a little bit today, if we could. And I know one of the things I love about having you all that you all give a lot of different explanations or different views to getting to the same place.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things I'm enjoying about having all of you all in these conversations is that you all bring such different perspectives that no matter who's listening, they'll be able to find their lane and be like, okay, that I got. You know, and I
Mm-hmm.
think in our community, we have to do a little bit more of that in terms of how do we get all of us somewhat to the same place, but through different roads. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful. I wanted to start off and talk about. I'm just going down the book. I'm still out of the same book. I'm actually almost finished it. But when you think about, say, a Batala, and have on here for his sacred offerings, white fruit, coconut, white cola nuts, Ephun, sacred earth, white yam, snail water, shea butter, rice, hens, pigeons, and a female goat. But it also had associated with the Batala is elephants, white birds, statues of elder African man dressed in white, images of mountains, and white cloth. Now that's just the offering and also the objects that are associated with Obatala. Um,
They should have had lead bangles.
lead bangles.
Uh-huh.
Why lead bangles?
Because that's what his and one of his attributes, one of his metals is lead. And they use in his, not giving away a secret, but basically it's kind of an open secret where one of the implements in a lot of the containers is a lead bangle and a lead ring.
Hmm. Uh, is there? Do you have a story of the origins of Obatala? Anybody?
Obatala actually came out of the Igbo. Out of he's hours from the Igbo people. So just like Egungun came out of another, um, and it's not ethnic group, but it's another group of people, cultural group, but not necessarily ethnic. And they're still looking at Kwa-based language. But Obatala came from the Igbo. So we keep thinking that Yoruba is an at the same age as all of its people, of all the people of Nigeria, but it's not. Yoruba is like 300 years old, whereas the people themselves and the religious tradition of Ifa is over 12,000 years old.
Hmm.
So, that's a whole nother kind of dynamic there.
Right
But
on.
Obatala has many different types. You also have to look at the snail drums that's used in his ceremonies, the Adasa, which was given to Orumila when Obatala was saved from Iyami Onsononga or Iyami Ajay. Um, and that was the gift. So that's the knife and the bell handle that was given to Arumila, but it is actually Obatala and it's made of lead. I
Mhm.
actually have mine here, but if I'll pick it up off the shrine and show you what I'm talking about.
Um, there's so one of the stories I heard about Obatala is something about him not being able to
Not being able to
drink, like consume alcohol.
No, palm wine, only
palm
palm wine.
wine.
Thank you.
That's it, palm wine.
Yes,
Okay,
because mm,
right, because he violated. He was supposed to continue to do some work, and he did not. Okay. In terms of there's two situations. Do work that was in terms of work that was going toward um the development of the earth and the development of what they were supposed to do, the Romulus was supposed to do on earth. And it had nothing to do with um the human beings being misformed. That's two different things, and Obatala actually was not responsible for that. It was another deity, and but it was a deity that was assisting Obatala, and he in turn messed up human beings, which is why we get different types, people that have deformities. And so, but Obatala didn't do that. What Obatala did on why that palm wine is his taboo is that he got drunk and did not finish helping or to finish the completion of the earth for human beings. And so Oduduwa and Orunmila had to finish that work. And so when he came to himself, he in turn took um palm wine away from himself. And that's what happened.
All right. Last thing on that is, what about, this is just things I've heard, what about the wood people that he's responsible for them being who they are in terms of coming into creation, if you will? Have
Well,
you heard a word like
that's
that?
still same, and that's still Abiyaku was the author of the what is that work? Oh Ifa, oh God, I can't think of the word. Um, and I have the book around here. But he was Abieko Kyo was the one who actually talked about in that story about the wood people and what took place with them. Um, and that still goes to the story about the proclamation of the earth and what happened. Okay, so that's still under that same.
Oops. Okay. If one was offering up a prayer to Obatala, okay, did somebody mute themselves? So I just seen. Okay, that was you. Okay, I thought maybe that was something. Okay, so if someone was doing a prayer, offering up a prayer to Obatala, what would a prayer? Because they also have prayers in the book, but what would one be offering up a prayer to a batala be like?
Okay, in terms of okay, because you got different types of prayers.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We have socio-religious prayers, which is the generalized prayer. Okay. And that kind of goes with across the board. Then you have incantation invocation.
All right.
And those are prayers that are done to make things happen. Okay. And those are usually done in ritual. Most people hear the socio-religious prayers. And those prayers basically are telling you about um, what they need to, what they are giving praise to Obatala for. They're usually doing an ariki to Obatala for and using his praise names.
Mhm.
They're doing they're not invoking Obatala to come, but they're basically giving their adoration to Obatala. Okay. And with that, Obata, when they're doing that, then it's usually in a spiritual gathering. for Obatala. Okay. Unless you want to know what that prayer can be, I do have one
Let's
that
hear
I
it.
like. Yeah, let's hear it. Okay. I'll do like the first line. If we will abeyin poro adifa fon joko senu embio. Tisomo orisha eyinsa joko senu embio. Emi malo mo orisha. Emi malo enu le mimi miti mofilayo loko. Emi lomo orisha. Emi mimi mi bimo. Emi lomo orisha. Enu le mimi miti fi ako pokole. Eyinsa joko senimbio. Emi malomo orisha. Enu le mimi miti mofi ni re bobo. Eyinsi joko ko senuembio. Enu min loimo orisha. Wash hand basin is usually curved and cast divination for Joko Senimio, the child of divinity. Just continue to gossip. I am the child of divinity. It is while you were gossiping about me, I became rich. Just continue to gossip. I am the child of divinity. It is while you were gossiping that I had a good husband, good wife. Just continue gossiping. I am a child of divinity. It's while you were gossiping, I begot children. Just continue gossiping. I am a child of divinity. It's while you were gossiping, I erected houses. Just continue gossiping. I am a child of divinity. It's while you were gossiping, I was endowed with all blessings. Just continue gossiping. I am a child of divinity. And while that is, that's out of Obelar. And while that is a prayer to Obatala, and it tells you about one of the things that Obatala keeps away from you is the envy, the jealousy, and the things that it can cause to have happen to you while people are gossiping about you. And so it also says that as a child of the divinity, I don't gossip. I don't have to. Because see, while you all are gossiping, I'm praising Obatala. I'm doing what Obatala has told me to do, and I am getting blessed for it. So it tells people if you continue in that behavior, you won't be blessed. But if you follow the Orisha, you will be blessed. And that's still a general prayer.
Right on. Anybody want to add on to that? I'll make sure this is. Ifa Modupe, did you mute yourself? Okay, you're off. Okay, I don't know what happened. It looked like it was muted.
Yeah, I did mute myself.
Thank you, Leah.
You're welcome. Let me also tell y'all that Edun Bele J is the Orisha that caused the hunchback and all of those children of that had problems when they blamed it on Obatala. Okay, so Obatala did not create hunchbacks and people with deformities. It was Edun Bele J Tishe Omoye Oli Igbo.
So before we get to this next one, this is a leg bar. What is the difference between a leg bar and a shoe? Are they the same person? Because sometimes I'll see one without the other, and sometimes I see them together. Like I don't know.
It's the same.
Yeah.
They're just different paths, different incarnations, different power names in Ariki. Elegbara, we're talking about the road of power, road about, it's just another name for Eshu. There's
Okay.
only 8.
So the next one I'm going to read for Elek Bawa. The sacred offerings are palm wine, tobacco, all fruits, nuts, roasted corn, coconuts,
Mm-hmm.
roosters, male goats, yams. The objectives that are associated with this orisha is statues of a male figure and a long braided hair, rocks, and coconuts.
Mm.
Um, Anything left out of that one?
One of his taboos is fish.
Fish. So no
Okay.
fish.
Fish. Yeah. He doesn't like fish. And all of them have a taboo on black palm oil. So black Adine oil.
Okay. Um, this is just a question. When I think of like the offerings, as I look at them all, how do folks? How do we know that that's the offering for them? I'm trying to get my words right because this is a real innocent question. Um, how do you know like palm oil and tobacco? Are they attached to stories that showed you that that was not for them, or like how did that come to be? Like like these are the offerings that's associated with this orisha.
Wait. Okay. Um, okay. Uh, Giving those offerings, usually you find out by either having casting with cola or divination, or um, that will tell you what they want for a specific thing. That's, like if you're in a conversation with Facial, and in that conversation, then you followed it with prayer. You're asking that in that conversation, what you have been discussing, um, things that you needed to have changed in your life. You also ask Eshu, what is it that I can give to you that will help me get these things in my life for change? And you ask Eshu, do you want cola? Do you want bitter cola? Do you want gin? Do you want Epo, palm oil? Do you want a rooster? And usually you don't get, if you're just doing a general conversation, you don't get to rooster until you try to make the big stuff last. Okay. Um, and with that, you give him those things. You should, when you have received an issue icon, then you should know, or in your part of your training should be knowing what its taboos are, what its foods are, what the prayers are, and how to start and commune with that Orisha, how often it should be done. Because basically, if I'm giving a shoe, I'm telling the person that they should have a conversation with that Eshu every day. And so that they can get their energy aligned with that being. Because it is an icon and it is something that you are praying to, and you want your prayers answered. So you have to align yourself with it, meditate with it. And that's the process that I use.
Right on, right on. In this,
With my issue, I I talk with him every day before I leave my house. I don't go nowhere without talking to Eshu first for protection.
Right.
And when I travel with Eshu. I don't care about the those people that check your stuff and so forth. I tell them I wouldn't touch that if I were you, and they usually leave me alone, and I go about my business. But I don't go nowhere without Eshu.
where should a shoe
Absolutely.
in your house?
My issue is right at the door, but issue really should be outside. Some issue, it depends. Should be or legua should be inside. A shoe should be outside. Um, but mine is right inside my door because I don't want I don't want people putting their grubby hands on it. What you say, yay for
A
that?
shoes. I'm considering the fact that I have A shoes in the front, on the side, in the back, in the garage,
Okay.
in the shrine. You know, I have A shoes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Different roads of A shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with them, what I'm doing, even with those that are around, I have a strong relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Simply because that he is that Ashe. Again, I pretty much follow the same protocol. I don't go nowhere without his counsel. I don't do anything without feeding him first. Okay? Because it is the one that's going to take that energy of the offering back to a room. So I'm going to cast cola. I'm going to do those things that's necessary to have to get the desired result that I get from point A to point B without any kind of circumstances and negative happenings.
Mm-hmm.
I should have thought about that this morning. So
Uh-oh.
So in his book, he has a prayer for Eshu, and it says, Eshu, protect my family, protect the initiates of the temple, and me also. Let me not be moved against the people. Let not the people be moved against me. Grant me long life. Grant me peace. Grant me elevation of my consciousness. Grant me the ability to use my own hands. Eshu, I salute you. So that's the prayer he has in the book.
okay. The one that I have is Ejialalo, 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 Ejialalo. Ejigiki mola wo bean, Ejigiki mola wo bean, Ejigiki mola wo bean. Difafuna rumula, Tien lo refia humburuku koi shua dara lorun. Timi baku, adorane shua dara, adorane shua dara. Timi ba la wo, adorane shua dara, adorane shua dara. Timi ba ko ya. Adorane Shuadara, Adorane Shuadara, Timiba Omo, Adorane Shuadara, Adorane Shuadara, Timiba Kole, Adorane Shuadara, Adorane Shuadara, Timiba Nirebobo, Adorane Shuadara, Adorane Shuadara. Ejialalo is the priest that was invoking for Romula and also for Eshu. And literally what he was saying is if I don't have long life, it's on your neck, Eshu.
Mm.
If I don't have a husband or wife, it's on your neck, Eshu. If I don't have children, it's on your neck, Eshu. If I don't have a home, it's on your neck, Eshu. If I don't have a all of Eray, is on your neck issue. That's an invocation. Because Ejialalo, 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 that's 3 times. That makes an invocation
Mm.
and incantation. And so I'm doing the lines 3 times. And then the petition thereafter. And what I'm saying to Eshu simply is, now I ain't threatening Eshu. I ain't that stupid. Okay. So I have this wall built around in the body of the prayer that says, hey, shoes, it's a little slow around here. Okay, I need some help. So you're my daddy, you're my father, you're my baba. And so because you are that to me, then I'm asking you to do this for me and to make sure that this happens. Okay. So no, I ain't, the prayer says it's on your neck. And literally by saying that, Ashu was saying, what you say? He wakes up. What you say, child? And that's when you kind of back up and say, bye bye. This is the prayer that has been said for Osai Eshu. Because that's the Odu that it comes out of is Osai Eshu, Osai Lokbe. That is the prayer that is the Odu that Eshu was born out of. And that's why you use it to extrapolate and say, wake up for me, Baba. Wake up for me. I need you. I need your help. And that's what it's literally saying. I need your help.
Right on. Right on. Anybody want to add on to that? And if I'm okay, sometimes I mute you only because there's a feedback when Yay talks, and then I try to unmute you immediately in case you have something you want to add on or say. Because now I know you have a delay.
My computer has such a delay. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But don't leave us.
I'm not going nowhere.
Okay. All right. Like, don't leave us. Okay, so the next Orisha they have here is Oshun. Her sacred offerings are honey, cinnamon, pumpkin, lettuce, orange, eggs, guinea hens, sheep. The objects that are associated with her are fertility artifacts, objectives of brass or gold, peacock feathers, mirrors, fans, fine jewelry, and cowrie shells. Anything y'all want to add to that?
Okay. The famous pumpkin. She likes red wine too. That's another thing that she likes. Iyun is another type, and coral is another type of bead that she likes. Okay. Just look, I'm sitting there, I'm sitting in front of her. So needless to say, did they put honey on there? You don't use a lot of honey with her.
Yeah, honey was the first thing it said on here.
Yeah, you don't use a lot of it though.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I put a little honey on my lips in the morning and ask her to make my words sweet and not. Did you do that this morning? Yeah. Anyway.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I am Black Karen, okay?
To sweeten my words and that sort of thing. She likes champagne.
She do.
Yeah, they not.
She likes cinnamon whiskey too.
Yeah, whiskey.
We did a celebration with her, and all the women we fed and ate with Oshun. So we had about 10 women here, and each one had a plate, and they took something off of their plate and put it on Oshun's plate. Every person took food off of their plate, and then everyone took the cinnamon whiskey and put it on her. Okay, everyone, and then we also gave gifts to Oshun, from Oshun rather, to everyone that was participating, and we all got blessed tremendously. So. Okay, we sang to Oshun, we prayed to Oshun, and did all the invocations to Oshun. But that was how we celebrated. And but yeah, we put whiskey on her, but it was cinnamon whiskey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sister here is saying, once you start to study, how soon do you need to know who crowns your head? I know who I resonate to, but I never had a reading for clarity. And that's probably a very good question. Because you could be drawn to something, but
Yeah.
that job may be to get you to come in, but that may not be who your head is.
No, that's true. Usually what you should, people can ask questions besides the fact of what they think they should ask in a reading. But if you go into the reading to find out specifically what your path is, I always tell people, are you supposed to be an initiate?
Mm.
Um, with your hand of Ifa, you should know who your head is going to be crowned to, along with Ifa. Okay, and that's pretty much how we do it in this house. Not every house does it that way. Not every lineage does it the same way. But here, that's what we do. We look at the hand of Ifa, we look at the number of Orisha, and what is the Orisha that is specific to their Odu in their hand of Ifa. For example, when I had my hand of Ifa many years ago, it was Shango, Oshun, Olokun, and that was out of Irosun Sa. So the initiation went to Shango. Okay. I also have a Lokun. So that was for that specific, and in my lineage, a Lokum is female. In Benin and in Abel Kuta and some other places, the lineage of a Lokum is male. So, but in mine, it was in Ife, I received a locum, and so not received, I was initiated to a locum, and that's what's on me, amongst other things. But I received Oshun, okay. In my Odu of initiation, however, I received I have is Yemonja is to be crowned. Ogun is to be crowned. Um, Needless to say, you do Ifa, Eshu, um, Orisha J, you have to have in Maodu. So with that, that's the predominance of what I have in that. So with the hand and with my full initiation, those are, oh, excuse me, let me not forget Egg Bay. So I have those.
Right
With,
on.
in terms of, because you can either receive them after Ifa or during that same time, or you can be fully initiated to them.
Yeah, just to add a note or an appendage to that. Always remember that we are a mixture of people over here. We came from many different ethnicities and lineages. And so it behooves you also to know or to seek to know what your lineage is, because we're all not meant to be Ifa. Some of us are meant to be Wudang. Some of us are meant to be Ekon. Some of us are meant to be out of the Kemetic lineage. So you really need to keep that in mind, because the end thing right now is everybody, and it makes perfect sense because we're all looking for who we are for real, our real spiritual heritage. That's what we're looking for. But we have to look a little broader than just looking. And don't forget, you got Ifa, you got Lukumi, you got all of that. So you really have to patience, Ajay Ogbe, patience. Take your time, and the Orisha, I was taught, and it is my knowing that the Orisha, if they want you, they'll choose you, and you'll know it. And it's the same with all the other deities. If it's Bhutan, If it's a Zuli or that wants you, you'll know.
Right on. So for the dear sister who asked the question, I think she was a little bit more specific. She said, once you start to study, how soon do you need to know? No,
Crowns your head.
that's a little bit more specific. Like
That
this
is
person, like
specific.
they're into Ifa,
Um,
they want to know who crowns their head. So the fact that this person's been studying a tradition, I think that that was a great answer in terms of how you go about finding out who crowns your head, so that you can have more clarity on your path. So
that
I
comes out of Dafa. That
huh?
still comes. That comes out of a reading or Dafa. Okay. Well, anytime you start talking about who did your Ori choose to come into the world with? Okay. And because we have to remember that it's Ori that makes that choice in heaven. Okay. When the diviner is casting Ifa or even cowrie shells, they are asking your Ori in heaven what is taking place. What did they choose in heaven for you to come into the world with? What Orisha did you choose? Okay. So when I receive my hand, okay, or even I'll take it before I receive my hand to be father. That was the question on the table for me. Yeah, because I was told in 1965 I was a child of Shango. Okay. So with that, coming back, moving forward, when asking the diviners, who am I crowned with? That's what they went every time. Different diviners, they all came up with Shango. Period. Okay. And then eventually the other Orisha came in terms of just knowledge. Me having personal knowledge of the other Orisha that are in my life. So I think that the person, young lady, needs to be specific when she's sitting down, even with studying and sitting down with the Aluo or the Ianifa or whoever is doing the Dafa. She needs to sit down and say, with her Igbo, okay, because they're going to put Igbo in her hand and ask the question, you know, who is crowning my head? What is my path? Okay. Because even with that, your path is what are you asking? Are you supposed to utilize the Ashe of Orisha and or Ifa or any of the other deities to forward your career? Or are you supposed to use it to forward your health concerns? Or are you supposed to use the Ashe to become a priest or a community priest? Because you don't have to be all those things. It usually can tell you the different elements of what you're supposed to do and be. But
Right,
you have to sit down and ask it.
right on. So to wrap up Oshun, the prayer that he has in here, it says, Oshun, who is full of understanding, most gracious Mother Oshun, most gracious Orisha, one who has large, robust breasts, one who appeases children with brass ornaments, but does not disclose them, who knows the secrets of cults but does not disclose them, one who has cool, fresh thorns, one who buries money in the sand, the gracious mother, the queen of the river water, which moves sleeplessly, one who gives healing water free of charge, one who gives good, effective treatment to children, one who has neither bone or blood, save me. One expects salvation from one's deity. I do not know how to save myself. I give homage to Oshun. Ashe.
Ashe.
So the next one of the Orisha we have is Yemoja. So you may know the answer to this. Sometimes you'll see it Yemoya or Yemoya,
Right.
Yemaya, and Yemoya, like that O and the E. So it's Yemoja, or it'd be YemayA. Is there any reason why that's like that?
Language, I
Okay.
think more than anything else, just language.
Okay.
Differences. EJ, Iye Moja, Iye Moja.
Moja.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, she, when you look at mother, most people look at her as the protector of children. I'd say she's the protector of women and children and the epitome of what motherhood actually looks at. Now, looks onto. And you have to also remember that all of these deities did not have children until much late in their life, on when they had earthly lives. Yemunjah did not have children until she was a much older woman. Oshun didn't have children until she was a much older woman. So they appreciate and love children in such a way that they will, if you are in a family and a child is not being cared for as much as possible in that family, Yemunjah is probably who's going to be in the road causing issues. You know, if all of a sudden you see somebody and call the popo on you because they done heard your baby cry. Well, I just heard that baby cry one time too many, and I think the police need to investigate you. That's Yemunjah. She's going to be that spiritual mother. She's that Oba that's going to take care of her people and her children. Okay. There's a part in her prayer that talks about when she was a dyer. She and it wasn't until indigo dyer, and it wasn't until she took away and stopped using the dyes that she found out that that was what was keeping her from having children. So when she did, her children were playing on the riverbanks and broke her bowls. Now, Yemunjah was the kind of person that was like, you broke my bowl. Okay. I think I'm going to hurt you. But when she saw it was her babies, it was like, no problem. I can get another bowl. So it was that kind of energy that she has that says how she loves her children
Mm.
and she protects them to the utmost. You know, there's a story in was that Turpangunda that talks about Yamunja's relationship with Oshun and Oba, who were all wives of Arumula, which we should know that too. And that Arumula loved extremely intelligent women. That was his thing. Because if you could talk about the cosmos and the stars and what the constellations were, that was something that Arumula loved. And he had that relationship with Oshun. Oshun could converse with him about all of the deep mysteries. But what he didn't understand was the fact that he had other wives. And so with those other wives, he was not as kind and attentive as he could have been. So what he did was is one day he bought for a festival, he bought Oshun this crown of pear feathers. But he brought Yemunjah and Oba a comb. That's it. Okay. And they didn't get mad at each other. They got mad at him. as you know, and they looked and said, "This is it. You gave her that," and he wanted to explain, which only made it worse. So they got into this big, huge fight with him. And when he needed to just kind of hold up, ladies, back up, it became such a humongous fight that they all turned into rivers. And that's out of that particular Odu. Turpagunda.
Wow. So for Yemaya, her sacred offerings is molasses, cooked seafood, duck, hens, or rooster, objects from the ocean. And then over here it has objects associated is strong matrilineal statues, creatures of the sea, shells from the ocean, and images of the sea. And then a prayer for her is Mother Yemaya of the fishes, Mother of the waters on the earth. Nurture me, my mother, protect and guide me. Like the waves of the ocean, wash away the trials that I bear. Grant me children, grant me peace. Let not the witches devour me. Let not evil people destroy me. Yemoyah, mother of all, nurture me, my mother. That's the prayer he has in the book for her.
With Yemonja, Yemonja is the Ogun River. Okay, Olokun is the ocean. When we were coming off of a lot of the Yoruba people were when they were captured in around Ogun State too. And so the river, Ogun River feeds directly into the Atlantic. So, but Yemunja in traditional in Isheshe is a river deity. Um, However, you can propitiate all riverine deities at any body of water because all rivers feed into the ocean. All lagoons feed into the ocean. And the water is recyclable throughout the world. The other thing too with Yemunja is that um, she she didn't, when we look at the tools of Yemunja, not all of them are just seashells and cowrie. She also uses lead bangles too. So she does use silver, you know, and things like that. And there are also some shared um metals that they do have. She shares some metals with Olokun in terms of the silver metals that Olokun uses as well. But Olokun also uses brass um, for his bell and the implements to call Olokun back to us. When we're calling Olokun. And you can use the same thing to call Yemonja when you're calling and doing work to bring her to bring her energy into the space as you're doing invocated prayers during ritual.
Okay, so now we have Ogun. Ogun's sacred offerings are palm wine, rum, palm oil, pineapple, fruits, roasted corn, tobacco, roosters, male goats, yams. Sacred objects affiliated is machetes, all iron objects, statues of hunters and warriors, blacksmith, vehicles of iron or metal. And then for Ogun, here it is. His prayer is Ogun, the powerful one, sufficiently great to stand before death, one who makes human beings prosperous, one who is not enriched by Ogun's will. Find it difficult to get sacrificial kola nuts. Ogun enrich me. Ogun, the powerful one, the strength, the strong one of the earth, the great one of other worlds, the protector of those who are being injured. Ogun, support me.
Yeah.
So that's what we have for Ogun. Anything you want to add on to Ogun?
Ooh, yeah. Uh, Ogunlayake. Um, Ogun is not, everybody looks at Ogun as this fierce warrior, but they don't see that there was also a side of him that was gentle, that he was introspective. Ogun is divine intelligence. And in that divine intelligence, uh, we have artists, we have nurses, doctors, we have poetry and literature. That's all part of the world's songsmiths. All this is part of the world of Ogun, of that divine intelligence that he brings to the table. Another thing that we don't always look at is his close relationship with Orunmila. That his relationship with Orunmila was such that in Ogbeshe, it talks about how Orunmila had finally made it to, he had to take his people through earth to populate the earth. And he went to the land of the insects, he went to the land of the birds, and he went to the land of the animals. And Orunmila was not able to settle in any of those places because Ifa had said, I'm giving you these two birds, and if these two birds don't dance and sing, then you can't settle there. And those birds wouldn't dance and sing. So Orunmila took his people to the land of the human beings. And now his people are tired. They done went to all these different places they want to set up house. And he was like, the bird sat there and looked at him like, no, this ain't the place that we gonna be. So his people said, well, we don't care no more. You can go do wherever you want to do. We gonna stay here in the land of human beings, and you can go on about your business. Wherever that is, go on. Okay. So he was dejected, and he had been, literally just torn apart because of the decision of the people that he had been leading all this time. He made it to heaven, to Orun. And here's Ogun. And Ogun is in heaven, and he's torn up from war. He's messed up. He's got sores all over his body. His hair is all knotted and messed up. And he's just sitting there looking at Orunmila, and Orunmila just sat there and started crying. He started crying because he's like, oh, Olodumare, why did you have me come here? He cried and cried, and Olodumare did not answer at that time. So Orunmila sat there and he thought about it, and it engaged his faith. He said, Olodumare, I have followed from the very beginning. And I know that it would not take me anywhere without a good reason. That is why I followed. It's always been a good outcome. So Orunmila said, okay, he took his apo, his medicine bag, and he went out and he took out the clippers and the soap and the water, and he cleaned Ogun up and he patched up his sores all over the body. And Ogun said, thank you, Baba, for helping me. And I'm going back to earth. And those people that dejected you, I'm going to make them worship you. And that's how it is, the force of Ogun that goes behind our worship. It is the force of Ogun that makes us bow down to Orunmila. and to Ifa. It is the force of Ogun that protects us whenever we are out working towards and in the name of Olodumare and in the name of Ifa. It is Ogun that we need to understand his mechanisms and how it works to save us. Ogun can be very gentle. Ogun is gentle. And that's the thing about Ogun that we don't know is how gentle Ogun really is.
Wow. So, a sister is asking that she was told that you can only truly learn your path and destiny during the hand of the Ifa ceremony. Is that accurate?
It's accurate for that lineage and it's in my lineage as well. When you get to a hand of Ifa, you know where you're gonna go. Because Ifa is your blueprint. This is your blueprint. And when you have it, it's going to take because you're going to when you go to the initiation to Ifa, you have to have two hands. So one hand is the Awofa Khan, and that is your Shefa. The other is your Tefa. And that's what you need to have Ifa.
Right on. Right on. Sis, I'm gonna pick the book up for you in just a minute. Let's get to Oya because I'm just trying to finish off what we got. So, sacred offerings is rum, red wine, eggplant, rice and beans, plums, tobaccos, purple grapes, hen or rooster, female goats, and plantains. And then for her sacred objects are buffalo horns, multicolored cloth, and images of storms. And then before Yeye gives us what we need, that meat, the prayer for her in here, I can find this. Oya says, as powerful and as strong wind, more fierce than the storm, Oya, guard my soul against the many figures of evil. Help me to rest upon the earth free from strain and undue frustration. Oya, warrior of the wind, let not our land be overrun with destroyers. Let us not die in pain or sorrow. Extend your weapons to protect us from destruction. Oya, may we live and die and live again. Oya, may our lives be long and our death short. Okay, what you got to add on there? Oh, somebody's
Okay.
asking when are you coming to Sacramento, but we'll get to those comments.
I need to get to Sacramento too.
Do
I'm telling you, because at least that's closer to the ocean.
right on.
Obinrin Totori Ogunda Erogbo, the warlike woman that grows a beard. Efufuleleti Daigi Loke, the strong wind that tears down trees from the top to the bottom. Osuno Jomawo, one who makes cloudy weather but never rains. Oya Obi Boro Biasho, she covers herself with fire. Oya Riri, Oya the visible terror. Alengenge no Binrin, the tall, elegant woman. Obojo Obinrin Tisa Wija Oko, bold woman that leads her husband into war fiercely. Oya Dawo Funwa, Oya, we beseech you to protect us. Oya Maba, Waja, Ya Irefunwa, Oya, don't fight us, give us manifold and victory. That's my ma. So as you know, that's my ma. Um, I the thing about Oya is not like I always say. She is not just the winds. She's a river deity. The Niger River is her river, and she's a shapeshifter, which tells us in our life that we must learn, those of our children, one of the things we must learn is how to adapt from one state of being to the next state of being. And when we adapt to that, let's cover it well so that no one knows our human side, no one knows our animal side. And that's the ingenuine of Oya. She's genius. She's absolute genius. Her relationship, she was married to Ogun. She was friends with Oba, sisters to Oba, who taught her warship, martial arts, as Oba taught all of the Orumile martial arts. Uh, the thing that I love about Yansa is her ability to answer the call of her children right away. When I go to my Yansa, when I go to Oyariri, I know that I ain't got to do or wait too long. That when I'm working with her, I'm working with her in conjunction with Eshu. And together they're going to move quickly on the problem and solve the problem quickly. When she's working with Shango, she's the one that goes ahead into battle. And as she's going ahead into the problem, you will see that the problem starts to unravel. And as it unravels, then you see Shango come in and clean it up. So Oya is a brilliant. Oya was to Shango what Oshun was to Orunmila. That mate that was able to finish their sentence, finish their words. And that was the type of relationship that they had. So the thing of it is that she is not a for nonsense, she's a no nonsense deity. You know, she is not one to is like, and you she can't stand lies. More, I would say more so than Shango. If you are, one of the things that was told in Maita with Oya was that uh when and if you lie, expect your mother in your face. And that's been the truth. So I found that it's best not to lie. I found that it's best to be as honest as I possibly can be. Uh, which is all the time. I don't play with Oya. Yo, that's not a deity that you play with. She is the ultimate warrior mother. If you've never had any mother that would fight for you, it's Oya. Yansa fights for you because I can tell you from personal experience that Yansa has ripped up a lot of stuff to protect her babies. And I'm proud to say I'm one of them. So that's my relationship with Oya. Also, she's a very intuitive deity. So when it comes to your intuition and spiritual discernment, to use another word, Yansa helps you to see stuff, but she also will hide stuff from you if she thinks you're going to use that information to get hurt. So, but she's a very, very astute and psychic being. So when you're dealing with her, your senses are always heightened. That's been my relationship with her. Mm, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, y'all. So I was before we get to this last Orisha on the list for today. The sister was asking about what book I'm reading from, and I told her the book is the Handbook of Yoruba Religious Concepts by Baba Ipakarade. It is a good book for beginners. It's really like very, very basic. So that's the book, and I did put that in the comments. And then let me move on down here. Dear sister is saying here that preacher says this is when you were talking earlier, probably even now. Oh gosh, I am so grateful, forever thankful. She says Ashe, and then their sister Ava Oshun
Kentucky.
Uganda. Oh, sorry, Segunda.
Oshun Togun. Oshun Togun.
Oshun Tagun is saying
Mm-hmm.
when is DeFi basically UJA coming to Sacramento. And we're gonna have to work that out because we need that knowledge right here in Sacramento as well. And then another sister, she loves hearing your prayers. She loves hearing those prayers. Another sister says, when you pray to her, are you not eat meat?
Let me say this, that Oya likes meat.
Okay.
Okay. They pretty much like meat. Okay. Matter of fact, Oya likes big goat livers. Okay. So yeah.
And then the sister saying, when you gonna come over here to Trinidad? Uh, and
Till
then
I
another
need a vacation spot.
right. Another sister says, Ashe, I love these teachings. And then let me see. Another sister said, okay, I believe. The last Orisha that we're going to do today is Shango. And Shango's sacred offerings are plantains, yams, okra, green bananas, tobacco, rum, bitter cola nut, ram's rooster, red, branches of trees struck by lightning. All right. Then it says over here the objects that are associated with him is a double axe, black cats, ram's head, drums, stones, tree trunks, trees struck by lightning, horses, and turtles. And then Shango's prayer that he has here in this book. Okay, it says, Shango has come. Let every human being come and watch. Shango, do not quarrel with me. I am not one of those who is against you. There are two solutions to a problem. Shango, please resolve them. The powerful king, my lord, the owner of the big royal drum, protect us from misfortune, protect us from illness. Let us experience the calm and gentle things of life. Okay, Shango.
My daddy. My baba me. Kiyowakan, 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 K Mikan, K Mikan. Abo meje kikako kan o maye. Shango, Adifa Funa Lukoso Lalu. Bambirikwa Ota Shegu. Nejo tibi Larino Siri, Tia Larino Ta. Tani yo. Bami Shegun Ota me Agbo Girisa Niyo. Bami Shegun Ota me. If your head butts, if I head butt. Two rams don't headbutt each other without one giving up. Cast divination for Luko Solalu, the king who sacrificed 200 stones for victory. He was surrounded by evil and malicious enemies who will also assist me to triumph over my enemies. Ferocious ram, will you assist me to triumph over my enemies? Shango Ripa Ota Shegu. Baba is, he's passionate. As if there ever was passion, there was passion in. He's the deity of passion. When there's force and magic, because that's another thing that he was famous for, was the fact that he could carry the fire on his head and it not burn him. He could take fire and put in his mouth and it would not burn him. Uh, the being that had bested him was Oya at one point, which is why you have to deal with Oya leading first. Then comes Shango. She saved him in terms of moving him away from his enemy. So he dances in the courtyard of the impertinent. When Shango dances in the courtyard of the impertinent, what he's doing is like, those who dare want to fight me, come fight me, and I will put you in your grave. That is Shango. Okay. Again, he was the Alafine. He was an Alafine in Oyo. And as an Orumile. And he was an Orumile. Because that's always an argument in the diaspora with, well, Shango is an Orisha, Shango's an Orumile. No, Shango's an Orumile. And that energy rises to the occasion all the time. When we see the rainfall, we see that he is fertilizing the earth. He's also a deity of fertility. He gives children as well as he gives wealth. So these are just some of the small things on Shango.
Wow. So, okay, anybody else want to add? That was our last Orisha for the day. Anybody want to add anything to that? Ifa Modupe, we have not heard your beautiful voice as much. Because I know you have the delay on your computer. But anything that y'all wanted to add? This was very good. Okay. So one of the reasons why I chose this book and some of the things we did this week, because I do get messages that people enjoy our show, but sometimes they don't understand the very basic concepts. And so I try to start as small as possible. I think if we are going to, I don't know, it's great to talk about things, but it's also awesome if we can do some baby step stuff so people could understand, some of what we're talking about and maybe become more inspired to learn more. So you hear somebody talking about an Odu, if you've been listening all week, you should definitely know what an Odu is. You think about all the stuff we you should definitely know who why we have those seven basic Orishas, but we know there's over 200, there's over 401 Orishas, there's over 200, there's 256 Odus, like stuff like that people couldn't even tell you before. Not like I don't think that they didn't want to know, but it's like the very basic things so that when you dive deep into it, you have a little bit more understanding. It's kind of like somebody wanted you to start off in college and you ain't even been in kindergarten. So, that was my attempt in doing that. There's a question on here from our dear sister, said how often to make offerings to the Iyamis? That's a great question. And what is Iyamis?
Iyami, primordial forces.
Mm-hmm.
They are from the earth, but they are cosmological as well as terrestrial. They are when you get deeper into Odu Ifa, you find that they are handmaidens to Olodumare. They also help to do work, but they also right the balance. They're not necessarily they hold no allegiance to any Orisha or any human being. So it's not like I'm gonna make you my friend and you gonna love me. No, they don't do that. When it comes to how often to make offerings, I would suggest very strongly that if you have Ifa, ask Ifa, unless it was told to you in an initiation that you have to do specific work to them on a regular basis. Then every Wednesday is at midnight, and thereafter is a time to leave offerings to them. Okay, and to leave the offerings, you would leave the offerings at the T junction, which is that's one of the best place to do so, at the T junction. Um, what a T junction represents is, as we know, the crossroads. Well, a T junction is that place where that your blessings have been blocked at. So you take the offering and put it at the top of the T. So, and asking them to open up that road so your prosperity will come through. You do deference and you back away from your offering and don't look back. That's how you do it.
Okay, one question I do have, we're gonna wrap it up with this, because this when the lady asked that question, it made me think of something. What are the traditional steps when you're inside of, or you begin to live inside of the practices of Ifa? Like, can we talk about the hand of Ifa? We talk about being a priestess. Are there steps to this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what are those steps? I mean, in its basic form.
Well, it really does depend upon the lineage, but pretty much there across the board, you're learning how to one worship Ori and your ancestors. Those two things first. You're understanding the power of Ori, which is not just your physical head, your internal head, but your NEKG that walks with you in heaven. So we are more than just this physical form. We have another form that is in heaven, and that helps us doing everything that we do. Once you start to learn how to empower that, then you're also empowering and learning how to empower your ancestors and worshiping your ancestors, giving reverence to them, giving honor to them. They open up the way to you going to your next step, which usually is, if in divination and in this house, once you've learned that, then we're looking at giving, you're getting a shoe and then a hand of E5. If in that divination you should have other things to help you along your journey to your Orisha and E5, then we'll see that too in your hand of E5. But our worship starts and begins with Ori and our ancestors.
Okay. So I got the Ori ancestors, and the next thing you said divination and getting your Eshu and your hand of Ifa, right?
Right.
Then what's the
Uh-huh.
next step?
After that is if in that hand of Ifa, you're going to find out if you should go to Orisha, and what is it that you're supposed to go to do with that. So in other words, I was told from the very beginning that I was to be a priest of my community. Okay, so from the very beginning, I was training to be a priest in the community. But other people have gone and they were supposed to have the ashe to save their life. They had deathly illnesses or illnesses that were chronic. You had others who may not go to Ifa, but go to Orisha. There are some people who will go to Ifa but serve Orisha at all times. So there's different combinations, but that all comes out of that divination with your hand of Ifa. You sit there and you plot it out with Ifa on what your path is supposed to be.
Right
And
on.
then then you start you should be training all along. Okay.
All right. So I think that should give some clarity right there. Yeah. Before we wrap up, just want to say thank you. Now, Ifeoma Dupe, this is my cream. I forgot to bring hers to where we were last night, but it's wrapped up, sealed tight, like no one can. But this is mine, and it smells so, man, like, it just feel like in here. Wait for my camera. It's right here.
I love that Mama D's cream. I'm telling you, Mama D's cream. Mama D's cream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My family, thank you all for tuning in. I think this was all the shows are great. But I don't know about y'all, but I love it when people break stuff down because it really helps me to have more understanding. It takes away a lot of the assumptions because we have like master teachers on here. Y'all don't get it twisted. This ain't like some theory, some great movie y'all watching. Now I'm buying it for people. It don't work like that.
Oh Lord.
They really know. You have to have people who really study, who've been in this, and who is okay with breaking some stuff down, because we all have different ways in which we learn. So I thank y'all so much. Any parting words from anyone before I get us out of here? Parting words.
Have a good weekend.
And pray for me.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Pray for me so I can be cooler, calmer, and loving this weekend.
I know. I just say from what I learned today, you may want to apply some of that honey.
Yeah.
I know I need to do that. Man, I don't know what we're
Yeah. I need some honey today.
Right. Thank you, ladies. We will be back on Monday. Hold on, family. We got to get up out of here. Peace and blessings, fam.